Johnny, did you ever play sports?
No. Wait, is rugby a sport?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, let's just go to the show.
The last show on Earth is filmed before a live studio audience.
Broadcasting live from the east side of sunny Madison, Wisconsin, it's The Last Show on Earth with Nate Chappell. Tonight, grab your galoshes, secure your slicker, and unbridle your umbrella because it's episode water. And now, the man who likes scuba but prefers his hipster pal Shaga, the last host on Earth, Nate Chappell! Hello, blub 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 to all my seahorses out there. And welcome to the held breath of internet television, the last show on Earth. Not even sure what that one means. I guess it's uncomfortable and a relief when it's over, but better than drowning? We got a new promo on our hands, guys. The last show on Earth. It's better than drowning. Did we get it? Good. But actually, they say that there's a euphoria that hits right before you drown, so I'm not sure if we can even beat that, so. Oh well. I'm excited for tonight's episode because I am a big water fan. Water Fan 1, that's actually my license plate. WTRFN1. It was just the one randomly assigned to me, but it totally fits. I know there would be more numbers than that, but let's not overthink it. But I like water. I use it every day. In fact, I don't know if you guys do this. I have to put some of it in me every day or I'll die. Do you guys do that? I do, because I have to. But in all seriousness, please, could everyone stop laughing for 1 fucking second, please? I hardly ever drink a glass of water anymore. I eat like 9 cucumbers a day, though, and those are pretty watery, so I'm probably okay. I do drink a lot of sparkling water, but I feel like somehow the air and the bubbles dry you out, so it just negates the hydrating power of the water. I don't know, I guess I feel like sparkling water is too good to be true, like it's going to be the 40-year-olds vaping. We didn't know until it was too late. We were drinking grapefruit, cranberry, raspberry, lime, black cherry. I think they even had a pineapple. But by then, we all had bubble lung. But would I do it all over again? No. But I do love water. I love swimming and canoeing. Not much into fishing because fish are slimy and I'm not an asshole. It's mostly the slimy part though. Yuck. I mean, hey, I like standing around and waiting for stuff as much as anybody, but like most things in life, I wouldn't know what to do with it if I caught it. Just ask Vin. But canoeing is very fun. River canoeing, I mean, of course. Lake canoeing can go frick itself. Sorry I had to hear that. Lake canoeing is just a lot of work. River canoeing is more like really slow driving. And who doesn't love that? That's why I drive past Chicago every day. But it's actually better than that because you've got nowhere to be. And sharing a canoe with someone you love is a great test of a relationship. Like, it's so fun to see your interpersonal micromanagement control issues manifested in nature. So relaxing. And you can't get away from each other no matter how hard you paddle. Get me out of here. Oh, still back there. I used to be quite the swimmer. I wasn't very fast, but I had a lot of heart. We swam the mile at camp one summer, and it actually took me 2 summers. Well, I made it. Now, obviously you can tell by the way I look, I am not a swimmer. I'm obviously a talented springboard diver. I'm so lithe and sinewy that everybody is always asking me to do dives, just assuming correctly that I am a skilled diver, again, because of my sinew, litheness, and grace. And I'm like, what, you think I just carry a pool around with me everywhere? But then I do a quick back somersault just to give them a little thrill. You gotta give the people what they want. And do you know who else gives the people being Viv and me, what they want? Snuggles. It's daughter of the show, Wes Clementine, in a segment we like to call Ask a Baby.
Hey baby, my sister-in-law always makes fun of my kids' clothes. She calls them baby hobos. How can I get her to stop? No bindles in New Brunswick. Well baby, what do you think?
I'm security guard Carl Lewis with today's morning affirmation.
Failure is not an option, although in your case, it's often an outcome.
Welcome to my week in review. I'm Nate Chappell, and this is my week. On Friday, I made a Valentine's Day card for Viv from Wes that said, "I remember when I could always hear your heart," and thought, man, Wes sounds depressed. Maybe she should talk to somebody. I mean, if she could talk. On Monday, I bought a couple of tickets to see Huey Lewis in the news, but I think this little asshole ripped me off. Ha ha, you've walked into my trap, you fool. On Tuesday, I was trying to fold laundry. Well, Wes had different plans. More as this laundry unfolds. That's my week in review. I'm Nate Chappell saying my week was better than your week.
Pops would spend a lot of nights just tinkering alone, cooking up experiments for purposes unknown. I found out he'd been secretly inventing how to clone, when upon success he yelled, "I've done it!" to the rotary telephone. So following that mug's success, Pops took a crack at me. Well, that was 30 years ago. We're close as close can be. Perhaps so close, I'd say, and surely he'd agree, that I thank Pops most every day for not making number 3.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, just floating around, thinking.
What are you thinking about?
Horses.
What do you mean? Like short for seahorses?
No, the other kind.
Oh, you mean a land horse?
The one on land is just called a horse.
I don't think that's right.
No, I don't think it's right either.
Well, what about land horse?
Sometimes I just wish I could see what their lives were like. What is a rider and where does it ride? What is a saddle?
Wait, are you singing now? What's going on?
I'm just so bored. All we do is float around all the time.
I love floating around.
No, of course, so do I, but sometimes I just wonder if there's more. I mean, look at horses, for example.
You're not going to start singing again, are you?
No, hear me out. What land horses have that seahorses don't is freedom.
In what way?
They can smell the rain on the wind, gallop across the prairie, bray at the harvest moon. With us, it's just float, 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 blub, 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 and float, float, float.
But they can't float.
I guess they can. But honestly, I don't know why they'd want to.
I don't know why they'd want to gallop across a prairie. Sounds exhausting.
You've never even been out of the water.
Oh, and you have?
No, of course not. I couldn't make it out there. I mean, look at us. We're ridiculous. We're like a centaur, but with a horse head and a cinnamon roll body.
Okay, but compared to fish, we're pretty good looking. And we've got these tails.
Oh, you mean the tail that we can only use in emergencies? Have you ever even unfurled yours?
Well, no, but I could.
Some freedom.
Let's go back to your song for a second.
No, thanks. I'm not in the mood anymore.
No, I don't want you to sing. Do you know what a saddle is?
Of course I do. It's like a belt.
Oh, you really don't know, do you?
I mean, I basically know.
Like a belt?
Well, that's what I said.
I know.
No, I don't, okay? That's the whole point of the song, if you'd let me finish.
A saddle is a piece of land cow draped over a land horse's back for a human rider to sit on.
Oh.
Does that sound like freedom?
Well, they get shoes.
They only need shoes because they have hooves. That they nail the shoes onto.
Are you sure?
100%. I watched a documentary on Wetflix.
Wetflix and Shell, right?
So that's why I find my freedom where I can. Down here, floating wherever I want to, whenever I want to. And when some nice lady comes along and wants to deposit a bunch of eggs into me, I'll be ready, with my pouch wide open. I bet that's something a land horse wishes it could do.
You're probably right. Hey, how do you know so much about land horses?
I read books.
Really? Don't the pages get wet?
I have a laminator.
Oh, that's smart.
Bomb Squad premieres next Thursday morning after Bike Cops. The Big Adventures of Little Nate and Mike, the mid-season replacement that's making a big splash. The guys might be little, but their adventures are anything but. What they lack in mass, they make up for in laughs. The Big Adventures of Little Nate and Mike, only on Wolf Out Television. In a world where everyone's chasing something, one cat has one more chance to finally catch one red spot. The Red Spot on Wolf Out Television.
Water. Just water.
Welcome back to episode Water of The Last Show on Earth. Our guest tonight is the author of the memoir, Mermaybe, A Woman's Tale of Walking Out of Water. Please help me welcome to the show current author and former merwoman, Ariana Nelson.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, you're welcome. So, where'd you get the idea for this book?
Well, it's a memoir, so it's about my life.
Oh, well, that makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, I guess.
So, pretend I haven't read this book. What's being a merwoman like?
You haven't read it, have you?
Well, the audience hasn't either. Look, it's a really big book.
Yeah, I know that because it's laminated.
Yeah, I noticed that. Why is it laminated?
It's so that you can read it underwater.
But it makes it quite unwieldy.
If you don't laminate the pages...
And very, very heavy.
It isn't heavy underwater.
Touché, that's true. I'm sorry, I promise I'll read it tonight. I'll draw myself a bath, I guess, right after the show.
That's okay.
So, let's talk about... Okay, you're leaving everything you know behind, going basically to an entirely different world where you don't know anyone, you don't know how you're supposed to act, you look different from everyone else. Do you think my parents should have made me go to Boy Scout camp when I was 11?
What? I thought we were talking about, my story.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I guess we do have a lot in common. Alright, we can talk about your thing. Why did you decide to leave the merwoman thing?
Well, I grew up in a pretty small reef, and, this is all in the book.
Oh, perfect. This is going to save me a lot of time, and I didn't really feel like taking a bath, so go for it.
Well, I eventually decided that I just wanted something a little more. And I was just tired of floating through life, and that I was ready to walk, no matter what the cost.
What was the cost? Your beautiful singing voice?
No, $4,200. Just for the paperwork. And it's a ton of paperwork, and none of it's laminated, so it was sloppy.
But, how did you get turned into a human?
Oh, that was just a very, very painful surgery. Just split the tail right in two.
So how's life been on the outside?
We can't complain. There's good parts and bad parts, just like always. Before I finished the book, I worked as a barista.
Oh, nice. Where?
Starbucks.
Oh, actually, don't they have a merwoman in their logo?
They do. I think that's how I got the job. I feel a little bad about that, but I take a lot of shit for having these scales all over my body, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's fair. How's dating been since you became human?
Well, it's not really all that different, Romance is romance, and at the end of the day, we're all just modern women out here, hoping to find someone whose pouch we can deposit several eggs into. Just like everybody else.
Actually, I think it works a little differently up here.
That's not been my experience.
Okay. Do you miss anything about your old life as a merwoman?
Only one thing.
Is it being able to go to the bathroom like wherever?
Nate, that is exactly right. How did you know that?
I've seen The Little Mermaid.
Oh, I wouldn't mention that film. Disney is very litigious.
So what?
They might take you to court.
What court?
Nate Court.
What you're about to witness is a TV judge show. The cases are real, the gavel is a croquet mallet, and the judgments are final. Judge Nate is not an actor. They said he didn't have the right look. You be the judge, but not here, because this is Nate Court.
These kind of cases are never easy. I mean, usually I can just kind of look at a couple of people and determine which one is lying to me. But you guys are identical twins, so... I don't know, you both kind of creep me out. I'm so guilty. Cute sailor suits, though.
Water. Just water.
Just Water is, of course, the smallest water challenge in the world. A minigame, perhaps a micro game, wherein Ariana and I compete to see who can most quickly transfer water from our glass to our shot glass and make it overflow, using just a straw and a thumb. Okay, now with the call, here is Viv Chorple.
All right, players. Ready, wet, go! All right, we have just commenced the Just Water 2020 competition. As you can see, the players are competing on the official linoleum-topped playing surface. It is regulation, of course. These two haven't met since the 2013 World Cup, and my goodness, Ariana's really pulled into a strong lead. Nate's got a lot of work to do to catch up. These two last met in the 2013 World Cup, where they tied. Ariana's not gonna let that happen this time. It looks like she's almost over the top. Straws are, of course, donated by local Irish eatery, McDonald's. And Ariana's done it! We have a winner! Ladies and gentlemen!
Good game, good game. That's been our show, everybody. I want to thank Ariana Nelson. She used to do float-up comedy, but now she's doing it on her own two legs. She performs stand-up comedy under the stage name Nina Davis. That's weird, yeah? And a big thanks, as always, to the Lastest Crew on Earth, Fifth Chapel and Johnny Fisher. Finn Hammond and Tyler Enzer made the music for tonight's show. Tyler is Bongo Frontier on Instagram, and Finn is wiggling around on the back of a fish. For more episodes of this show, go to thelastshowOnEarth.org and go to wolfout.tv for our other shows. And of course, we are Wolfout TV all over this web we call worldwide, so go look us up on google.corn. Thanks for watching us tonight, creeps. And remember, we're watching you too. And as Julia Sagert said in Notting Gill, I'm just a mer girl floating in front of a mer boy, asking him to open his pouch and let me deposit several eggs into it. Be excellent to each other, and good night.